This video is about famous people and celebrities who passed away in 1986 in the United States. This is the second episode. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Paul Stewart. He was born in March 1908 and he died in February 1986. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Paul Stewart was an American character actor, director, and producer who worked in theater, radio, films, and television. He frequently portrayed clinical and sinister characters throughout his career. A friend and associate of Orson Welles, for many years, Stewart helped Welles get his first job in radio and was associate producer of the celebrated radio program The War of the Worlds, in which he also performed. One of the Mercury Theatre players who made their film debut, Welles' landmark film Citizen Kane, Stewart portrayed Kane's butler and valet, Raymond. He appeared in 50 films and performed in or directed some 5,000 radio and television shows. Stewart's most famous role in his screen debut as Raymond, the cynical butler in Citizen Kane in 1941. On the stage, Stewart appeared in the Mercury Theatre's acclaimed production of Native Son, directed by Welles and produced by John Houseman at the St. James Theatre. During the Second World War, Stewart served with the New York-based Office of War Information from 1941 to 1943 and narrated documentaries including The World at War in 1942. Howard Da Silva. He was born in May 1909 and he died in February 1986. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lymphoma. He was an American actor, director, and musical performer on stage, film, television, and radio. He was cast in dozens of productions on the New York stage, appeared in more than 24 television programs, and acted in more than 50 feature films. Adept at both drama and musicals on the stage, he originated the role of Judge Fry in the original 1943 run of the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Oklahoma, and also portrayed the prosecuting attorney in the 1957 stage production of Compulsion. Da Silva was nominated for a 1960 Tony Award as Best Featured Actor in a Musical for his work in Fiorello, a musical about New York City Mayor LaGuardia. In 1961, Da Silva directed Pearly Victorious by Ozzie Davis. Many of his early feature films were of the noir genre, in which he often played villains, such as Eddie Harwood in The Blue Dahlia and the sadistic Captain Francis Thompson. In 2 years before The Masked, both 1946, Da Silva's American television character work included the defense attorney representing the robot in the Outer Limits episode I, Robot in 1964, and District Attorney Anthony Cleese in For the People in 1965. In the 1970s, Da Silva appeared in 26 episodes of the radio series The CBS Radio Mystery Theater. Barry Seal. He was born in July 1939 and he died in February 1986. His age was 46 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. Barry Seal was an American commercial airline pilot who became a major drug smuggler for the Medellin cartel. When Seal was convicted of smuggling charges, he became an informant for the Drug Enforcement Administration and testified in several major drug trials. He was murdered on February 19, 1986 by contract killers hired by cartel. Seal admitted that he started smuggling small amounts of marijuana by air in early 1976. By 1978, he had expanded to flying significant loads of cocaine pound for pound, a much more profitable enterprise than marijuana smuggling. Seal is portrayed by Tom Cruise in the action comedy film American Made in 2017, loosely based on Seal's life, produced by Image Entertainment. On the evening of February 19, 1986, Seal was shot to death in front of the Salvation Army Center. 3 weeks into his probation, Louisiana Attorney General William Gust wrote to United States Attorney General Edwin Meese criticizing the government's failure to protect Seal as a witness. Some accounts, like that of Alexander Cockburn, suggested that Barry Seal's connections with the CIA might date back to the 1960s, when he was allegedly a Special Forces helicopter pilot in Vietnam, or even to the failed Bay of Pigs invasion of 1961. Gino Hernandez, he was born in August 1957 and he died in February 1986. His age was 28 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was overdose. Gino Hernandez was an American professional wrestler, better known by his nickname, Gino Hernandez. He is perhaps best known for his appearances with the Dallas, Texas-based promotion World Class Championship Wrestling between 1976 until his death in 1986. Hernandez's death was initially ruled a murder case, but police later concluded that he had died of a drug overdose. Despite this conclusion, those close to Hernandez and fans alike continue to speculate about the circumstances surrounding his death. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Gino worked for Dallas-based territory World Class Championship Wrestling, called NWA, a big-time wrestling at the time. The highlight was a storyline feud with David Von Erich over the NWA Texas Heavyweight Championship, which Gino won and lost back to David. Gino returned to SCW, forming a hugely popular tag team, the Dynamic Duo, with the territory owner's son, Tully Blanchard. Hernandez and Blanchard's tag team act became so successful that they were the top based on box office drawing power heels in the state of Texas, regardless of territory. Leif Erikson, he was born in October 1911 and he died in January 1986. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Leif Erikson was an American stage, film and television actor. Erikson enlisted in the United States Navy during the Second World War, rising to the rank of Chief Petty Officer in the Naval Aviation Photographic Unit. He served as a military photographer, shooting film in combat zones, and as an instructor. He was shot down twice in the Pacific and received 2 Purple Hearts. Erikson was in the unit that filmed and photographed the Japanese surrender aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay on September 2, 1945. Erikson's first films were 2 1933 band films with Betty Grable, before starring a string of Buster Crabbe Western films based on Zane Grey novels. He went on to appear in films such as The Snake Pit, Sorry, Wrong Number, Abbott and Costello Meet Captain Kidd, Invaders from Mars, On the Waterfront, A Gathering of Eagles, Roustabout, The Carpetbaggers, and Mirage. Among Erikson's most notable roles were as Deborah Kerr's macho husband in the stage and film version of Tea and Sympathy, and as Greta Garbo's brother in Conquest 1937. He also played the role of Pete in Vindictive Boat Engineer in the 1951 remake of the famed musical show Boat. His final appearance in a feature film was in Twilight's Last Gleaming in 1977. Frank Herbert, he was born in October 1920 and he died in February 1986. His age was 65 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. Frank Herbert was an American science fiction author, best known for his 1965 novel, Dune, and its 5 sequels. He also wrote short stories and worked as a newspaper journalist, photographer, book reviewer, ecological consultant, and lecturer. Dune is best-selling science fiction novel of all time, and the series is a classic of the science fiction genre. The Dune saga, set in the distant future and taking place over millennia, explore complex themes such as the long-term survival of the human species, human evolution, planetary science and ecology, and the intersection of religion, politics, economics, sex, and power in a future where humanity has long since developed interstellar travel and colonized many thousands of worlds. The series has been adapted numerous times, including the feature film David Lynch's Dune in 1984, the miniseries Frank Herbert's Dune in 2000, and Children of Dune in 2003, and a motion picture trilogy currently in production with Denis Villeneuve's Dune 2021 and Dune Part 2 2024 having been released. Ida Rhodes, she was born in May 1900 and she died in February 1986. Her age was 85 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Ida Rhodes was an American mathematician who became a member of the clique of influential women at the heart of early computer development in the United States. Rhodes was awarded the New York State Cash Scholarship and a Cornell University Tuition Scholarship, and began studying mathematics at Cornell University only 6 years after coming to the United States from 1919 to 1923. During her time at Cornell University, she worked as a nurse's aide at the Ithaca City Hospital. She was elected to the honorary organization Phi Beta Kappa in 1922 and Phi Kappa Phi in 1923. She received her BA in mathematics in February 1923 and her master's in September of the same year, graduating Phi Beta Kappa. Ida married Solomon Adolph Rhodes on 20th September 1922 in Bronx, New York City, and became known as Ida Rhodes. The couple made a declaration of intention to become a citizen of the United States on 17th June 1924, but were divorced by 1940. She held numerous positions involving mathematical computations before she joined the Mathematical Tables Project in 1940, where she worked under Gertrude Blank, whom she would later credit as her mentor. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.